I didn't plan to take a DNA test. It started as a joke at a family dinner. Someone mentioned ancestry, someone else mentioned health risks, and suddenly my nephew pulled out his phone and said, "We should all do one. It could be fun." Everyone laughed. I laughed too. I had no idea that one small plastic tube would soon tear my life into two separate timelines, the life I thought I lived, and the life I had actually been denied. 2 weeks later, the results arrived in my email. I opened them in the kitchen while the kettle boiled. I expected boring percentages and distant relatives. Instead, I saw a name I recognized instantly. It was the name of my sister's son, but next to his name were words that made my stomach drop: immediate family, parent, child match. I refreshed the page. I checked the spelling. I logged out and logged back in. The same results stared back at me, calm and permanent. According to the DNA test, my sister's 18-year-old son was not her child. He was mine.
The kettle screamed, but I didn't move. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped the phone. I felt dizzy, confused, and suddenly very cold. My sister had raised him since birth. I had stood beside her at the hospital. I had held that baby. I had kissed his tiny forehead and whispered promises to him that I thought were only symbolic, but the DNA test didn't care about symbolism. It cared about truth. And it was telling me that my sister had stolen my baby. 18 years ago, my sister and I were pregnant at the same time. We joked about it, took pictures together, and promised our babies would grow up like twins. She was married. I wasn't. My relationship had ended suddenly, and I decided to raise my child alone. My family supported me, especially my sister. She told me I would never be alone, that she would help me with everything. We went into labor within hours of each other. The hospital room was busy, loud, and chaotic. Nurses rushed in and out. Machines beeped. I remember feeling exhausted but relieved when I finally heard my baby cry. They placed him in my arms briefly. He had dark hair and tiny clenched fists. I remember thinking how perfect he looked. Then everything became a blur. I was given medication. I drifted in and out of sleep. At some point, my sister was wheeled past my bed, also holding a baby wrapped in blue. I remember smiling at her and closing my eyes again. When I woke up, my room was quiet. A nurse came in and told me my baby had been transferred to the nursery for observation. She said it was nothing serious, just a precaution. I trusted her. I trusted the hospital. I trusted my sister. Hours later, another nurse entered with tears in her eyes. She told me my baby hadn't survived. She said there had been complications. She said they were sorry. I don't remember screaming, but I remember the pain ripping through my chest like fire. My world collapsed in a single sentence. My sister held me while I cried. She told me she loved me. She told me my baby would always be with me in spirit. She took me home and stayed with me for weeks. I never questioned anything. Why would I? She was my sister. She was my family. After seeing the DNA results, I didn't confront her immediately. I needed to be sure. I ordered a second test, using a sample from my sister's son when he visited. I told him it was for a school project. When the results came back, they confirmed the first test. He was my biological child. My heart felt like it was breaking all over again, this time in slow motion. Every memory replayed itself in a new, horrifying way. The hospital room. The nursery excuse. The sudden death. My sister's constant presence. Her unusual protectiveness over her baby. The way she always avoided conversations about my pregnancy. I asked her to meet me for coffee. She arrived smiling, unaware that her secret had already collapsed. I slid my phone across the table and showed her the DNA results. Her face went pale instantly. Her hands started shaking. She tried to laugh it off, then tried to deny it, and finally she started crying. She confessed. She said she was afraid. Afraid of raising a baby alone. Afraid her marriage would fail. Afraid she wouldn't be loved the same way if her child had health risks. She said when she saw me drifting in and out of consciousness, she panicked. She switched the babies. She bribed a nurse she knew from college. She arranged false records. She said she planned to tell me someday, but someday never came. I sat there in silence while she explained how she had buried my child on paper and raised him in her home. She had taken my future, my motherhood, and my right to know my own son. I didn't scream. I didn't hit her. I simply stood up and walked out. The next day, I contacted a lawyer. Telling my son the truth was the hardest thing I have ever done. He cried. He asked why his life had been built on a lie. He asked if he had to choose between us. I told him he didn't. I told him he could love us both, but that he deserved to know where he came from. My sister is now facing legal consequences. Our family is divided. Holidays are quiet. Conversations are cautious. Nothing feels the same. But my son calls me now. He asks about my childhood. He asks what I was like at his age. He is slowly letting me into his life, piece by piece. We are rebuilding something that was stolen before it could begin. I lost 18 years with my child. I can never get them back. But I refuse to lose the rest of his life too. Because the truth may arrive late, it may arrive painfully, but when it arrives, it changes everything.